Hey guys, Tom from Hunt here. Getting it up here to right around Peoria, just a little behind schedule there. I left a little late this morning after I got off work. Gonna go to the enhanced area right around Peoria, Davenport, Iowa, right in that northern corridor there. I'm gonna target that area to chase in today for the possibility of able to get on. And at the moment, they look like they're moving relatively slow. Um, is what it's going to look like. Then everything towards the evening to the overnight hours is going to go linear and start moving with a heftier pace across Illinois to central Indiana. So for those of you in central Indiana, as it goes linear, it moves on to the east to the northeast. The potential risk for high winds, damaging winds, some possible hail to somewhat large hail would be possible with anything that would come through this evening as it pushes through, with a possible embedded threat for embedded tornadoes within the squall line. When it starts to go linear, it starts moving, we'll get quasi-linear spin-ups. These I do foresee once this whole system lines up, after it stops playing discrete and kind of gets organized and starts to congeal together and line itself out. That's where we're going to see a lot of straight line wind damage take place, with the possibility of the threat of maybe a embedded tornado or two within this squall line later in the evening. But for this afternoon, I'm hoping to get up here in time. It looks like I will get up here in time before everything starts to initiate. Fingers crossed. I got another 94 miles to go before I'm in Peoria, Illinois. Gonna play on that discrete threat there, for a discrete supercell or two. These are looking like they're gonna line up to be very photogenic storms that will be firing off this afternoon as the evening hours go, right before it goes linear. I do like getting up ahead of the line after the discrete mode and just get up ahead right before that rain freeze starts to dissipate and pour it. They can be quite photogenic to look at and take pictures of. That's where you start to get nice roll clouds. How these line up and how the roll clouds, I'll get concerned, or it looks like a water or a scary looking cloud. They're quite photogenic and they're really cool to see. I do think today would play out that way, given the dynamics that are kind of in play for how this is looking to line out. The Storm Prediction Center has a significant SIN put in place on the SPC outlook there for the day one, for the current day one outlook. There's a current ongoing mesoscale discussion up a little bit north at Davenport concerning cumulus cloud formation. It's where a cloud formation, it sort of looks like popcorn popping in the sky. which gets really fascinating when you get to see that popcorn go up at chasers, 2S chasers. We love seeing that start to form up and bubble up. Um, it's quite awesome. Then looking at the current radar, it looks like I'll get there in Peoria in time to be able to make a play and get a nice, good chase day in the books. I wouldn't be surprised right around the Peoria area if we get to see some severe storms go absolutely bananas up here. Something about Peoria and where it's at, it's just, to me, Peoria and this portion of Illinois seems to be quite the tornado maker in the spring, early spring, and quite often when you get setups like these coming through, there's the purist chasers don't want to come all the way up this way to Illinois because they're like, oh, the chasing belongs in the plains like Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, and Iowa, stuff like that. Given that, they're not wrong. It is a better area to play in for chases, better road networks, better visual. But for someone like me that is based out of Indiana, it makes sense for me to come up here and get a good chase day in northern Illinois. I got the day off. I might as well use it to my advantage. Get out there and chase. For those of you that have followed me last year, during last year's chase season, I didn't get to go out to chase much. Not a lot of opportunities popped up to where there's plenty of opportunities to chase, but given the work schedule and taking care of some life issues there, because life happens. It happens with everybody where stuff just kind of piles on there a bit, and you got to work everything through and go from there. So I didn't get to chase hardly at all last year. If anything, last year I was able to get on like one or two decent setups as far as the chase season goes. But this year, different outlook. I've been out on a number of chases so far this year, and I'm hoping May keeps that going for me. Because I did take the whole month of May off this year. Fingers crossed that we don't go to Death Ridge in May. That's where we go into a transitional period where there's absolutely no activity at all. Everything starts to warm up, and it's like summer gets set in the plains. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen this year. There's some long-term signaling taking place where that may happen. I'm going to remain optimistic this year on that probability there, and not sell it out completely that, hey, it's going to be a Death Ridge May where chase season just plummets where and this season I've started out aggressive, and I'm still going aggressive when I can get out and when I can chase. I'm being aggressive with the chasing, and I'm being aggressive, taking every opportunity to get out there to chase. But not only am I chasing, but when it comes to getting out on the public road to chase, not only am I I gotta look out for myself and keep myself safe. But it is my duty and my priority to make sure I'm keeping everyone out there that's in the public that I'm in the chase grounds on, making sure that I'm keeping them safe, uh, being patient with the roads, being patient with traffic and whatnot, and not making bad judgment calls on where to go and to position myself where I'm not being that burden on first responders to, if something were to happen, they got to come get me instead of providing the aid and support for the community that some of these storms will affect. As always, anytime you come to chase days, stuff like that, you always keep your fingers crossed that, yeah, we want to see storms. We like tornadoes are the ultimate prize, but I'm not going to be upset if it doesn't produce tornadoes, especially up here in northern Illinois, where if a tornado can be produced, it can tend to be quite catastrophic up in this area due to the population density. A lot of the major cities around that these storms will affect. We always hope to see a tornado, but we always wanted to see it out there in the distance, out in the open field, doing nothing but chewing dirt. If it's picking up dirt and throwing dirt all day long, that is okay with me. But we always hope, keep our fingers crossed and pray for that communities don't take a direct hit or take any catastrophic damage to life and property. It's never good when it happens. But if it does happen, I'm prepared to assist in any way possible, shape, or form to help aid in relief effort. Being considered a first responder, I do a lot of annual training every year on first aid, CPR, and all that stuff. I even do the NIMS classes every year to where I understand what FEMA and all of them have to use for paperwork, for professional assistance, and resources for operations to help restore a normal operating procedure in the aftermath of something happens, while communications are trying to get established and stuff like that. So I do NIMS training every year, first aid, CPR, all that good stuff. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that today's chase I won't have to utilize any of that, but every chase I go on, that is in the back of my mind. I got to be ready to leap in and assist. I felt like I already assist in a big way by going out and chasing and relaying information I see through a direct channel to the National Weather Service. I do got a direct communication to where I can communicate with the NWS if I need to, get something put out there quick, fast, in a hurry. And if I can't get the internet going to be able to get that information relayed, I am a licensed amateur radio operator. I'm a general class operator. I can operate VHF, UHF, and HF, and digital modes and all that other stuff. APRS, packeting, and all that good jazz. So with me being licensed amateur radio operator, I do got VHF, UHF radio in here ready to go at all times. Always comes in handy. Is if I can't get an internet connection, I can look for a nearest repeater in that area I'm chasing. And a lot of times, the areas I'm chasing, they got a really good amateur radio network that gets information going when it needs to get going. So it's really good on that. Gotta get the old Mountain Dew in. But yeah, GPS is showing me about an hour and 7 minutes from Peoria. So we already got storm initiation taking place south of Davenport right now. Yikes. I do wish I left a little sooner, but not all hope is lost. There is, I do see quite a bit of chaser convergence in Peoria right now on Spotter Network. But I'm up here, which I'll pan around and show you. Can't really see it. Got love the glare. So there's signs. Not bad, not bad. But I will absolutely say this camera absolutely rocks. By what I've seen in the stream, testing, stuff like that, looks like it does a pretty good job. If I'm not using it here, I'll take it into the office, use it in there, and gives me nice quality video. I will be in the process of moving to another apartment, so at the end of the month, I'm supposed to be moving into that new one. At the end of April, hopefully, that can go relatively quick, get everything moved, because I pretty much got everything packed, ready to go. That way, when I get thumbs up, go ahead and start moving. It's gonna happen that moment. I will be done moving that night. If I gotta just move everything into a new place and just leave it there until I get back on vacation from Bay, then just slowly unpack everything, maybe. This time I will be setting up a proper office this time, where I'm gonna be able to do my streaming. I got a very unique idea to do streaming once I get everything moved into place and get that set up. As I did order a couple more of these OBS bot cams to utilize, so I can get some different camera angles and whatnot while I'm in the office. Basically gonna be setting up a studio, a streaming studio where it's be unique. I'm gonna have a discussion, probably maybe this week, and I'll have a discussion on what I'm gonna do, and probably give you a sneak peek what that's gonna look like. It's gonna be more intuitive and more progressive and with the times. But other than that, with that update, I'm hoping to make everything on time to be able to get on something good today. Fingers crossed. But other than that, keep in mind severe weather probabilities are there today for central Illinois to northern Illinois into northern Iowa to southern Wisconsin into uh, southern Minnesota and Wisconsin. You guys may get the bigger brunt of everything, but everything should go linear towards the evening and start moving to the northeast, east to northeast. And when it does that, the biggest concern is going to be straight line wind damage and some possible hail with maybe a embedded tornado on for a quasi-linear setup. So other than that, I would concentrate on the road here, and once I get going and actually get on something, I'll go live.